everyone that knew Jo absolutely loved her. She was just full of life and energy. Just really bubbly. The girl had, so much life left in her to live, really. Just had this incredible warmth about her as well. I mean, even people that didn't really know her but had met her just on a couple of occasions, they're all sort of not equally, but also devastated by what's happened to her. She was instantly likeable, ambitious young woman that had done very well for herself and was at a very happy point in her life as well. She was a very creative person, which part of it. She loved, obviously, the sort of outdoors life, and she was really into gardening, but she was also very arty and creative, so, landscape.
Perfect job.
Architect, yeah, it was the perfect career for her to take. And I've seen Jo and Greg together on numerous occasions now, and it's quite obvious how besotted they were with each other. Jo's not someone that will move into an apartment with someone and buy a cat with someone, on a whim. It was very, very clear to everyone that knew her. Her and Greg were the real deal. She told me that her and Greg were travelling back to her parents' house Christmas Eve, and we'd arranged to meet in the evening. So she'd phoned me on the Friday. Yeah. I travelled home for Christmas on the Sunday. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and saw there was a message on my phone from the police informing me that she'd gone missing. Obviously, they'd seen on the phone that she'd phoned me and, obviously wanted me to get in touch. I immediately sort of panicked and phoned Jo, and Greg answered the phone. I knew something was wrong. I think we all did. As soon as I found out her possessions were in the flat, that was it. I knew she hadn't left the house of her own intention. Then it was just a case, really, of whether she was still alive, whether she was being kept alive by someone, or if she was dead, really. And I think we all were in denial about the situation as much as we could be, but I think everybody, deep down, everyone knew something was wrong. We all knew Jo, and clearly she hadn't left the house of her own accord. It's been hard to think about anything else since, particularly those first few weeks. I'd be lucky if I sort of slept at all, really. I think we were all desperate to do everything we could to get her back, and myself and Emma had gone up to Bristol to hand out posters and flyers, and lots of her work colleagues were doing the same, so we all sort of obviously got in contact to best coordinate the sort of pooled resources in our time. My parents knew Jo very well, and they loved her to bits. Obviously they've been concerned about myself as well, and they were quite keen to try and have some kind of a Christmas the best we could given the circumstances. Obviously when the news was on constantly, and as soon as her body was found.
Is that how you found out then?
Yeah, through the telly. Myself and Emma, her other close friends, have been in sort of regular contact. We had a lot of mutual friends at home who, I spent time with before attempting to return back to work. But yeah, everybody's gutted. As gutted as I was, I knew she wasn't a missing person. She was either being held by someone or had been murdered. So it was a relief to know that she was, no more harm could have come to her. Well, it should be fairly clear to everyone how desperate her friends and family are that some sort of justice can be done. And obviously, if anybody that might have information hasn't yet been in contact with the police, then I just beg that they please do that. Even if you may not have seen or know anything, you might have noticed a friend or family member acting suspiciously. Obviously, please, again, report that to the police, and I'm sure if that was your friends lying there that had been found on Christmas Day, you'd want others to do the same.